Something like that. I was trying to give an example. I'm not very good with examples. But yeah, she came up and looked in our stuff. Oh, and one time I had a UFC video game. So I said I didn't care much for it. So Brienne thought that meant she was going to take it back to her apartment and keep it forever. One time my mom was back there at her apartment and her brother Skyler gave it to me. It was UFC. It had Brock Lesnar on the cover. Yeah, when your last name's Blake, like Blake, and you're from Connersville, they think if you touch something, if they touch something in somebody's house, it automatically makes them theirs. Bree's mom, Lori Blake, and Lori's mom, Roxanne Blake, used to steal from me and my dad when we lived in like different places in Connersville. Gary would bring them over like to talk to us, and they'd just fill up cups and like fill up me and my mom and dad's cups and would walk out the door with them. Like this little red cup I got that I'm going to be famous for carrying around. Like everywhere I go, it's a little red one. You've seen it in the videos. That was stolen from, I can't talk right. That little red cup I carry around and you've seen in the videos was stolen back when I was like 3 or 4 or 5 or something. I'm not good with numbers. By Lori. Lori decided to come in our house one day, fill up that cup, and start walking out the door. I kept saying, oh, that's my cup. And the more I'd say that was my little red cup, the more Lori Blake would walk out the door with it. I'm making sure I got enough battery power. Anyway, yeah, that's the way the Blakes are. They live in Connersville, Indiana. Lori, she's dead now. My Uncle Gary's blaming the hospital in Connersville, Indiana. What's it called? Fayette Memorial or whatever for killing Lori. Then he's blaming 5-hour energy drinks for making her overdose. Get that? You ever heard of somebody overdosing on energy drinks? If you hear whining, that's my freaking dog. Calm down. You don't always have to have the spotlight on you, little dude. I'm just kidding. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, and another thing. I got pictures of this girl, or Lori Blake, my Uncle Gary's girlfriend, wife, whatever. Wife for a few months. I got pictures of her. My Uncle Gary has been for a long time trying to convince me that this big, fat Italian woman, his girlfriend Lori Blake, is way more gorgeous than Sabrina Carpenter and Hannah from Squirmy and Grubs combined. I actually laughed. You know why? Because Lori was ugly. She was a big, fat, ugly Italian woman. Now, this ain't a hate video. I don't hate these people. But she thinks, you know what I told him? Bull crap. If Sabrina Carpenter and Hannah from Squirmy and Grubs had a baby, I know women can't have babies, but if Sabrina Carpenter and Hannah from Squirmy and Grubs had a baby, that would be a gorgeous baby, because they're both beautiful women. Do you understand? Yeah, he's trying his hardest to convince me his big, fat, ugly Italian dead girlfriend, Lori Blake, was more gorgeous than the 2 women I just said. Ain't that weird? Oh, he also told me a story once. You know why his girlfriend, Lori Blake, was going to commit suicide? Because one time when her brother Robert, and Gary all lived in Florida, she was going to commit suicide back in the 90s because her brother Robert asked her to do the dishes. What the crap? And Lori's mom, this happened like many years ago too. Lori Blake's mom, I was like, 6 or 7, my dad used to like. No, it was later. It was like before that, like 4 or 5. Rick used to give me Lunchables, like to take for the car rides. We went with Lori, Roxanne, Roger, Gary, and my mom and me. Roxanne would sit in the very back of Gary's van to where I was sitting. She'd sit right next to me just to steal my Lunchable and eat it right in front of me. She'd say, "Hey, look, Cody, I got your crackers." Ha ha ha. This is Roxanne, Lori's mom. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Kids at school, like every school I went to, they knew I didn't really get to eat much at home. We were poor, we were on food stamps, social security checks, we went to food banks, we went to, what are those called, soup kitchens. We did all that. Well, right now we're still poor. This is February 4th. This is 2-4-2020. So February 4th, 2020. But kids at school knew I didn't get to eat much at home because we were extremely poor. So I used to get free lunches at school. Well, every day the kids knew that I didn't get to eat and I got free lunches at school. So they would steal them from me and eat them right in front of me. That way I could go back home and be starving. I've had a bad life, but remember, these videos I make, I promise you, I do not want pity. I just make videos because I'm bored. And plus I like entertaining y'all. I love people like you. But I'm sort of hurt right now. I got one person that subscribed to my channel, or he might not be a subscriber. I don't know. He or she or whatever. Well, it's either a he or she, obviously. But they're on my channel just to put thumbs down on almost every video I create. They wouldn't like it if I did that to their videos. Like I tell people, I don't want pity, I want prayers, okay? Prayers are better than pity. A little bit ago, I smoked three Cuban cigars. Remember, kids, don't smoke unless you want to look like me. The more you smoke, the more male or female you'll grow a beard and long hair and have my ugly face. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, I just like telling my stories. I got stories that are so sad, I could make even a dead man cry. Because I've been abused all my life, but this channel is not based on like telling all the abuse I've taken and stuff. Because if I did that, I'd make you all cry like constantly. Because 24 hours, 7 days a week, home, at school, out in public, I got physically and verbally abused, and I don't want to get into it. Plus, I lost my friend in the army. Well, he couldn't. I'll tell you all about that. Well, his name's Spencer A. Rose. He was my best friend since kindergarten in Connersville, Indiana. Well, on July 25th, 2018, I think it was. Yeah, 2018. He was over in his apartments, and I don't remember where he was stationed and stuff, but he jumped off a building, like a balcony. But I don't think he would commit suicide. I think his girlfriend pushed him off. I'm mad about that because he was my best friend since kindergarten. I'm getting kind of choked up, can't talk right. He was my best friend since kindergarten in Connersville, Indiana. His name's Spencer A. Rose. Yeah, I think his girlfriend had something to do with it because he wasn't suicidal or nothing. He was a good boy. Remember that, Spencer A. Rose, from 1999 to 2018. My best friend since kindergarten is freaking dead. I promised him in a letter that for the rest of our lives we'd get to do stuff together. But no. I'm